Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. This video I'm going to talk about Deku and All Might's relationship. So All Might is basically Deku's like father because his father is working out of town. I don't know, he's a deadbeat. What I've gathered. I think the writer said in one of like the things in the manga that he was going to show up eventually, like the dad was, which is good. Everyone needs their parent figure around, but All Might's taken this kid under his wing and then like trained him and stuff, and like he still, so everyone knows that he shows like favoritism towards Deku or Zuka Midoriya, which obviously he does because he gave him his quirk, because he left in the action. He was what a true hero in All Might's eyes has, so he wanted to give this guy a shot because he was quirkless. Now he sprung into action when no one else would. These heroes were around Deku who actually had powers, were actually strong, were actually like, well, strong. Some of them weren't strong, but were actually like there, were actually present, were actually like able to do something. They just decided not to because their quirk wasn't a good match against it. Then here comes this quirkless boy. This quirkless boy comes and he does something. He's the first to leap into action. He's there, which puts into mindset that it's like you don't need like obviously you need powers in this universe to be even somewhat relevant, even though Deku was originally not going to have powers, and the guy with the gun was going to be his mentor. But All Might, I do think he should have died. I think he played his like whole role in the entire series up until his fight with All for One for All, whatever his name. I always get that confused. But that guy, he should have lost to him. Like, it literally makes no sense to keep him alive, and it would have pushed Deku farther. But, like, I feel like if he would have wrote it now, he would be dead. Because it seems like, I don't know, I'm not all the way caught up. I'm still pretty far behind. I'm on Zap chapter. I'm pretty far behind in the manga. But in the anime, I'm in season 6, and it's gotten hella dark. So, like, I feel like now he would have died, which would have pushed Deku farther, pushed Bakugo farther. He would have been able to do a lot of interesting stuff, in my opinion, with that. Even though All Might's a very interesting character. He's not my favorite hero, because I don't know, he's funny. And he seems like he always knows what he's supposed to say and always has something to say, which is interesting, because not all heroes have that ability to do that. And I think he took the right approach to talking to Izuku's mother when they were going into the dorm. Like, I think it had to be him and apologizing. I do think it's kind of bad that they're keeping her out of the loop. But, like, she also probably would hate All Might. I don't know if she could hate All Might. I don't know. All Might just seems like the guy in the universe nobody can hate besides, like, the villains. But that's because he stops all the villains from doing their evil things. And Deku and All Might have this relationship, but All Might's like, they're very polar opposites when it comes to mindsets and how they learn. Because All Might learned the abilities and was basically able to use it right off the fucking bat, which is impressive on its own, but it was also a lot weaker from what I've gathered. Like, All Might made his quirk stronger. Do I still think his power is overpowered? I think originally it wasn't, because it was just a stock power quirk thing. I think originally it wasn't the most overpowered quirk. I think it is now, when it has like 9 or however many quirks it has. 8? 6, 8? Like, I think it's super overpowered now. Which, you know, All Might is... I think he is the perfect symbol of peace. And I think what he said to Endeavor is true. You have to find your own way to be the symbol of peace. You can't try to do what I did. And I think All Might taking kind of a step back and like actually like training other people that aren't Deku, which is what he's supposed to be doing. And then basically he wants Deku to understand stuff, but then he doesn't give Deku good advice at all, like half the time. And then he does punch Deku, which was smart. He needs to he punched Deku and Tenya and all them and Kirishima went and saved Bakugo. Like, decked him in the face afterwards. But like, it's crazy how I feel. It's just in, I guess, All Might's nature to not like reveal everything, and he like doesn't. He has been helping Deku. He's helped Deku a lot in his growth as a character. Because Deku would be nowhere without, All Might. But I think obviously All Might wouldn't have been able to do anything, and I think Deku was the perfect successor. And I love Deku. He's probably one of my favorite. He's top 5 favorite characters for me. Which I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for what he does in the series, because he's the main character, and All Might's the mentor guy. But All Might was terrified of Night Eye, and then the reason he wouldn't go see Night Eye was stupid as hell. It's like, I won't see him because he told me not to go fight people and this and that. Yeah, he wants to see you live. He wants to see you, like, live. He's never seen anyone change his mindset. No one's ever, like, challenged him. No one's ever, like, challenged the future that he saw before he met Deku. And Deku smashed right through that thing, but he had help. So, there is a difference. And, Deku goes in and he breaks every single one of his arms 17 ways till Sunday. And doesn't ever change that. And then gets told you can't break his arms anymore. And then just keeps breaking his arms because, this is an anime. This is anime. And if you break your arms once, you're going to break them again. And, that's fine, I guess. I just don't get why you'd put those, like, thoughts in his head and then make him immediately break his arms afterward. Actually, he goes, like, 2 arcs without breaking his arms. So there's that. So he kind of... Now he quits breaking his arms for a little bit, because I don't think he breaks his arms in the, like, class battle thing. But he breaks it after that. He snaps them bitches in half. He feels like... I feel like the author thinks that, like, since the beginning he's been, like, snapping Deku's arms in half, that he somehow, like, that makes it, like, seem like he's going all out or something. And that his body... I think it's also the fact that he can't, he can't handle this almighty power. And he wants to show that he can't handle this almighty power, I guess. That's the only other thing I can think of. Because, like, why would you keep snapping his arms in half? And I guess All Might had a totally different... All Might was taller and, like, more muscular. But All Might definitely has a quirk, in my opinion. Like, there's no way you can make her... Just by flexing, you can make your body look completely different. That's bullshit. That's a fucking quirk right there. It's not a very good one. And Deku should get that quirk, too. But, I think the writer wanted him to be quirkless. Even though he gave him a quirk, which, that wasn't all for one. Or one for all. I always get that fucking mixed up in my head. But it is good that they brought something else in. Like, Bakugo needed, as much as people don't want to say that he needed to know, he needed to know. Like, this was crushing him. And now it's like, oh, you got, like, the symbol of pieces of power. You should be on my level. You should be on my level. If you're not on my level, then what the fuck's your problem, mate? Like, that's, like, Bakugo's mentality now. Like, he knows Deku got, like, a boost, but not saying Deku didn't deserve it. He did deserve it. He was always gonna get it. But, All Might couldn't finish the job, and now Deku has to do it. Deku has a lot of weight on his shoulders. An extreme amount of weight on his shoulders. He's got to beat 2 of the worst villains that this world has ever seen. And, He's gonna beat them, beat their crews. Because let's be honest, none of the heroes are really helping besides maybe Endeavor. But I guess he has Shoto and Bakugo and Aizawa. But Aizawa seems like he's getting injured every arc too that he's in. Like he gives Midoriya a lot of shit for like getting injured and stuff, but he's like destroying his arms or his face or something every time he's out there fighting. Every single time. Even though his quirk is ungodly useful, it's ridiculously good. He's getting destroyed. Like no one ever talk. They don't talk about that in the series. None at all. Recovery Girl doesn't scold him like she scolds Deku. But this is supposed to be about All Might and Deku's relationship, and it was. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.